Can this really be happening? Have I finally found the right man? The man to start a family with? The man to share my life with, learn, grow, make experiences with, discover more about myself with? Wow, really? Are all my dreams, wishes, hopes, desires finally, actually coming true, manifesting? I can hardly believe it, but it certainly feels that way. Hi, I'm Christine, your emotion coach, and today I want to tell you about one of the greatest love stories and how I healed my heart. But first, it has to get broken, right? So let me read you the journal entry, my journal entry, from Friday, October 30th, 2015. Once again, I'm at this point in my life where I'm asking myself, what do I want to do? But it's different this time. Not just different because I feel my life is about to take a whole different turn. I'm in love with the perfect guy. The guy I know will drive me crazy at times with his logic, his need to lead, his dislike for accepting lessons, needing to be in charge of the conversation. But that fire just translates into expansion and passion, perfect tension like the pulling back of a bow. I think we will be magic together. And he wants a baby with me, like now. Can this really be happening? Have I finally found the right man? The man to start a family with? The man to share my life with? To learn, grow, make experiences with? Discover more about myself with? Wow, really? Are all my dreams, wishes, hopes, desires finally actually coming true, manifesting? I can hardly believe it, but it certainly feels that way. Alex, what a perfect match for me. Wouldn't that be incredible to finally start that part of my life? A beautiful, growing, supportive, expanding, thought-provoking, passionate, totally fulfilling relationship? And having a baby together, me finally having a baby, getting to feel the love, the nurturing, a whole new familiar spirit coming into this world through me, growing inside me, a part of Alex uniting with a part of me to create a whole new, beautiful human body. Wow. And he will be such an incredible father. I am getting everything I'm wanting. This man, yeah, I'm in love with him. Monday, November 2nd, 2015. Okay, so I would like some realigning, reassuring, re-getting into the vortex, clarity, and the absolute knowing that all is well and that following my highest excitement in the moment is serving me best. I mean, I am doing the vibrational work, just waiting on one piece, one big piece. Alex, does he seriously want a baby with me, like now? I think he would be incredibly excited to be a father, and I think we will be perfect together in a relationship as a family. But where does that leave me at the moment? Up in the air, yet again. Ha ha. Christine, you found your mate, and he wants a family with you now. Your whole life is about to change. I just made this deliberate step in moving out here to Ojai, the calm, the beautiful, yet I can hardly even enjoy it. I'm so busy running around. Alex is in Los Angeles. Our first date was the evening before my move away from LA. What is it that I do want? I want to know exactly where I stand with Alex. I want to have a beautiful and connected partnership in pregnancy. Write your story, Christine, right here, right now. What's your story? How do you want it to be? How do you want these next few months to unfold? Alex just texted me. He's on board with everything. We're going to have a baby. We've decided to find a new space in a more quiet and beautiful neighborhood, close to work for both of us. He's opening his own clinic, and it has a separate room I can use for my business. How perfect is that? The move was super simple and inexpensive. I just left all the heavy stuff there, sold it, gave it away. Worked out perfect. I can't believe it. We're going to have a baby. Christine, are you afraid to dream? What do you want? Give me the fairy tale version. Well, Alex, in and of itself, is the fairy tale. I feel so good when he's close, wrapping me in his arms, wanting me near. He's taking care of everything, setting everything into motion. How do I want to feel right now? Loved, happy, worry-free, healthy, eager, focused, successful. Ooh, there you go. Those were the first two journals, kind of unfolding the love story. And just to tease it a little bit so that you'll get right into the next one once it's posted, November 5th, 2015. Alex just punched a hole into my heart. Oh my goodness, are you one of these die-hard romantics? I have been looking for my soulmate since I was 14 years old, and love has always been the most important thing in my life, but it has also been the most turbulent thing in my life, and there are so many things that I learned and I had to learn through relationships, and being a highly sensitive and HSP, gosh, and not even knowing it, which that I think was the even harder part, not knowing that I was highly sensitive, feeling like an emotional lunatic, feeling like I was just ripped around by my emotions, feeling, oh my gosh, so in love. Have you watched the documentary? What is it called? Sensitive and in Love, something like that. It's on Amazon Prime. I will link it below and at least tell you the title, but there are two of them, right? There's the sensitive, I think, untold story, and then there's particularly highly sensitive in love, right? I think it's called Sensitive in Love or Highly Sensitive in Love. And it kind of shows you a little bit of this like high that we ride as sensitives when we fall in love. And this guy, oh my gosh, now looking back at it and kind of knowing what I went through with him, and like piecing together his character, I was like, how was I ever so in love with him? It's like I was addicted to him. I was addicted to this feeling that he gave me. I mean, yes, I had just gone through, oh my gosh, emotional turmoil. Look back at journals, previously I had moved to Los Angeles for a guy. As soon as I got there, we moved in together. That was the plan, right? Moving from Texas to LA, move in together. As soon as I got there, he emotionally and physically completely deserted me, wouldn't even sleep in the bedroom, slept on the couch every night, wouldn't give me a hug, wouldn't hardly talk to me, gaslighting me. And it was so hard on me. I went through so much rejection, right? These feelings of just somebody deeply rejecting the core of who I am. Ooh, that was hard. So then fast forward another year or so and I meet this guy and we're just like totally vibing. I remember driving to his house, right? Him finally texting me back going, yeah, sure, come over tonight. I can't wait. And anytime I was driving towards his house, right, I can still picture myself in my car driving. I had the biggest smile on my face. It's like I had goosebumps all over my body. I was just so incredibly excited to see him, to be in his space, to just share any moment that we could together. And I wonder if you've ever experienced that, where when you first meet a guy, that was also true for the guy that I met and then moved to LA for. When I first meet a guy, he goes so deep with you. He opens up to you. He's vulnerable with you. He shares his deepest thoughts and feelings and what's going on with him. And God, for me, and probably for a lot of highly sensitives, that is so attractive. That is so irresistible. And then put into that the nurturing component, right? I'm a very nurturing being. A lot of HSPs are, because we feel so deeply. So he had, gotten out of a relationship, which, that's a funny story. He had called off an engagement, which initially I thought she had called off the engagement. And I also thought that it had been way longer than it had actually been. It had only been a month and a half since he had called off the engagement until we met and started dating. If I would have known that, I probably would not have gotten into that relationship. But it makes a great point. Is there a question that you are afraid to ask because you're worried about what the answer might be? It's like you don't want to know, because deep inside, it's not going to work out the way that you want it to. So it's like a part of me kind of knew that it hadn't been that long ago, but I was too scared to ask, because these feelings that I had for this guy were so out of this world that I just wanted to float in them. I just wanted to stay in them forever. I just wanted to be in that space. When highly sensitives in particular are in love, it's like we're floating on clouds. It's like nothing else matters. It's like everything in your life seems easy and playful and wonderful and comes together, and you're creative and you're flying high and you're in a great mood and everything you touch turns to gold. Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want to stay in that kind of vibration, in that state of being? Well, the hard part is, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but the hard part is you can't forever float in these feelings. We as human beings aren't built for being in one emotion for a long time, right? Emotions change, emotions go up and down, and it's a great thing, because then you know that you'll also get out of depression, you'll also get out of anger, you'll also get out of sadness, you'll also get out of anxiety. Our body is not made for it with all the hormones, everything it turns on, how we feel emotions. We're not built for having an everlasting emotion, right? You can absolutely coach yourself, train yourself into floating in the higher vibes, right? You can change in between peace and love and creativity and laughter and passion and excitement, those things, versus dipping way down. But even those way down feelings, oh my gosh, they are so valuable. They teach you so many things, and you will get to the point. I got to this point, and I love this point, where I can, in the moment of having sadness, in the moment of feeling depressed or let down or stuck, in those deep feelings, anxious, highly anxious, even in those feelings, I know there's a part of me that knows that I won't ever get stuck there forever. And I know that there will be a beautiful nugget for me to learn, for me to take from this. I know that anything that is really intense will give me an incredible growth, an incredible expansion, incredible insight. And once you are certain of that, the whole game changes, right? The whole game changes. It's incredible. So let's bring it back around to this journal. Oh yeah, I remember what else I wanted to say about this journal. There was a time not much before I met this guy where I was in this meetup group for singles, right? It was this meetup group hosted by a psychologist, and I remember her standing in the front of this meetup group and saying, you really should aim to date in this 80%, right? You don't want to date in the lowest 10% of people that you're just really absolutely definitely not attracted to, right? There's got to be some physical attraction. But she said You should also not date in the top 10%, right? The 10% at the very top where you're just so drawn to them, so needing to be with them, so, oh gosh, they're just absolutely irresistible. You're enthralled with them. You just cannot help yourself. You need to be with this person. It's like the air that you need to breathe, right? So her argument was, don't date the lower 10% and the upper 10%. Well, this guy, Alex, by the way, I changed the names, right? I never say the actual names. This guy was definitely in the top 10%. He was in the top 1%. This guy, I was just head over heels, absolutely in love with this guy pretty much not from the first day that I saw him, but from the first day that we had our first date together. It was just a matter of how I felt with him, the presence that he gave me, right? The 100% focus, the way that I felt with him, the way that my body felt safe with him. It was just, I was immediately drawn to him. So now, before you judge me too harshly, I do want to talk about this whole wanting a baby to solidify the relationship. Because you'll hear me talk about it, particularly in the next coming up couple of journals. And gosh, this one is a hard one because now from where I stand, and probably before this relationship, I would have said, absolutely not. Are you crazy? It never works out if you try to have a baby in order to keep the guy. It will not work. And I pretty much stand behind that still. But having lived it, being so incredibly into a guy, intrigued by a guy, knowing that one of his greatest wishes was to have a baby, one of my greatest wishes, right? I was, 33? So I was really wanting a baby. So it's like those lined up. I knew he was going to be a great dad. And it was just kind of the thing of like, hey, we really like each other. We really vibe. We both want the same thing. Let's do it. I really loved who he is as a person. It's like, what could go wrong? Well, now, being the single mom of a 6-year-old, not the same kid, not a spoiler alert here, I know how challenging it is to raise a kid. And oh my gosh, if you are not 100% on the same page with your significant other, it is difficult. It is so difficult. You have to have the relationship and the trust and the focus in the right place before you ever go into an endeavor like this, right? Woo, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I completely, this is the wonderful thing about experiences. As highly sensitives, we are very empathic. And through our experiences, we learn even deeper empathy, right? Before I went through a miscarriage, I had empathy for women. I could imagine that would be a really hard thing to go through. But once I went through that, I understood the kind of thoughts that a woman has, the kind of feelings that a woman has in specific when that happens. And that is also true for this kind of relationship, right? I don't want to judge anyone who goes into a relationship so in love with a guy who kind of notices that the guy is pulling away, and then she wants to purposely get pregnant in order to keep the guy. I understand. That was this guy for me. It's like no matter what it would take, I wanted to keep this guy. It's like he was my son. He was my air. I couldn't breathe without him. I needed him. I needed him to be there. So if you're in that situation, forgive yourself. It's okay. This path is good. This path is yours. This path is going to teach you incredible things. And don't let anyone judge you. You are where you are, and your feelings are incredibly strong. And you still get to decide what to make of it. So don't blame yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Forgive yourself for where you are and for the kind of choices that you have made. Because from where you stand right now, you can always make different choices, right? But I don't want to spoil the story, go ahead and listen to the next one, because the little spoiler from the next journal from November 5th is Alex just punched a hole in my heart. And that's kind of how this relationship went. Ooh, it went up, it went down, it exploded. But yes, you've got to listen to this next one, all right? And if you're ready to see what I can help you with as a coach, as a highly sensitive coach, either private coaching or really check out my relationship mini course that I have on my website. I'll link it below because, man, love is such an amazing teacher, and you are not alone walking this path.